Alright, the first unit I want to look at today is STR Cell Max. We have to start talking about these units that just really needed the chance to be better. And for example, Cell Max is a unit that just has so little representation in this game that he needs the chance to shine. And the fact that he is a very strong card, but with how drastic power creep has constantly been over and over and over again, it's just really hard for Cell Max to have, a good time to shine. And it just sucks because, again, this guy needed a really strong card, and we do not know the next time we're going to see a Cell Max card, right? I mean, it could be sooner than later, but, Cell Max, they clearly think of him as an afterthought as they gave him a yellow coin LR. And not that being a yellow coin LR is a bad thing, but it's just like, if you're a yellow coin LR, you're usually like, oh, you're not hype enough to be a real Carnival or Dokkan Fest LR, or like kind of type character, so we're going to give you the yellow coin, which I get it, right? But at the same time, Cell Max definitely deserves a better upgrade on the coin, and maybe we see something for Superhero in the future, but right now I would say that this Cell Max, of course, he's a strong unit, but he just needed to have a little more dominance for, not really on release, but more so like something in his kit for him to age a little better. That's what I hoped that they gave him, but, it's fine that they didn't. It just sucks that was the case, but yeah, I do enjoy this Cell Max card for sure, but, they definitely, I just wish they just gave him just a tiny bit more and aged, maybe not to the level Broly did, but just to have some more relevance as we move on. I know some people do use this Cell Max, and people do like, oh, actually, I do have some good use for Cell Max, but, power creep has gone so crazy that it's really hard to use Cell Max right now. Even if you find a way to use him, you need so much defensive support, and he needs to be built up very quickly in order to be usable. Alright, the next unit I want to look at is TEQ Fusion Zamasu, the corrupted one. And there's this very simple reason why he needs to be good for a little longer. And again, it's just, he's our only standalone corrupted Zamasu in this game, and he's probably going to be our only standalone corrupted Zamasu for a very long time. Now, the difference, I will say, is the fact that he's not named half corrupted Zamasu for whatever reason, Amatsu. But, for whatever reason that's the case, he's still listed as Fusion Zamasu, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But this guy has little to none representation-wise. He has a tech, like old school TUR with outdated animations, and then you have the AGL corrupted Zamasu, who has decent animations, but he's just basically the updated tech version of the tech card. So, I do wish that this tech corrupted Zamasu was just a little stronger. Like, Vegeta Blue being fumbled, yes, sucked, right? Like, it wasn't even a fumble, it's just you never got to see Vegeta Blue, but it sucked because, you were like, okay, it still sucked, but it's just like, Vegeta Blue was always going to have the chance to be usable in the future, right? And I know right now we haven't had a new Vegeta Blue card that is actually usable in a long time. I understand that. But then the next Vegeta Blue card we're going to have is probably going to be busted. He's probably a 12th anniversary unit, right? So, they could even make the excuse to release Vegeta Blue for the 11th anniversary because we didn't actually get Vegeta Blue for the Tag Blues card, right? So, Vegeta Blue at some point is coming in the near future because we haven't had an actual Vegeta Blue card since, the future Worldwide Download Celebration. But that just means that Vegeta Blue is always going to get another chance. Half corrupted Zamasu, especially, as that version of that card, I just don't know how often we're going to see that guy, right? We could get a Fusion Zamasu that goes corrupted. We do not have that yet, right? And maybe that's what we're going to pair that with the next Vegeta Blue card, for sure. But this corrupted Zamasu just needed a chance to be a little stronger. And again, he's really good. I think the more so the issue is just he doesn't have a stronger. He should have 80% damage reduction for the first 2 turns, and then, or maybe like 90 and then 80, and then have an easier way to get into Infinite Zamasu. And this guy would have aged miraculously and be still usable today. You could still kind of use this guy a little bit, but you have to use like Rose's actives and stuff like that in order for him to even be close to usable. But like, future Gohan, for example, is still usable today because of his 80% damage reduction, right? And it's not like the best case scenarios and all that, but future Gohan is usable. Like, he is, like, in certain scenarios, he 100% is. And I just wish corrupted Zamasu had that same treatment of being able to be somewhat usable in short meta because of the high levels of damage reduction. But only 1 turn of 80% damage reduction is just not going to cut it in this meta, especially because his defense is already not super high. Alright, the next card that should have 100% been better on release is the TEQ Super Saiyan Blue Kaio-ken Goku. Also, I apologize for the audio quality dip 100% on this one. I don't have my computer with me, and I really needed to record a video, so I'm using my phone on this one, so if you can hear it. If the quality feels a little lower, I am sorry, guys. Don't worry, the ones moving forward should be starting This should be the only video with this kind of quality, so I apologize for that, but I really need to crank one of these out so that my editors can continue to get this to me as fast as possible. But anyways, TEQ Super Saiyan Blue Kaio-ken Goku, I mean, it's very simple, right? There is only 2 versions of this specific Goku, right? The AGL one that's super easy in his celebration, and this version of this card that fought hit in the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 fight. I mean, it's just, he has so little representation, and the fact that he's already had a small amount of representation, and then on top of that and he was good on his first card. His second card does not need to be this bad. Like, again, let's go back to the Vegeta Blue example. It's okay he's fumbled because we know eventually there's going to be another Vegeta Blue card that's going to end up being, you know, good on the round down the road. I mean, he's going to have 7 cards or 8 cards, you know, like Super Saiyan Blue Kaio-ken Goku has had 2 cards in 10 years, and they're both not usable. I mean, like, you could try to use Super Saiyan Blue Kaio-ken Goku in the current meta, right, because of just the fact that short meta and he can dodge, right? Like, he has quote-unquote usability, but I'm still not running this guy like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so great to run this guy. One, because the reps at Universe 7 still sucks. Like, you could run, I guess, a full Ultra Instinct team and try to run special battles like that. Actually, I might try that for a video, or maybe just like a live stream, like trying to clear all 4 special battle stages with the Universe Rival Saga. I mean, it's possible, but my gosh, it's an RNG festival, right? I mean, just run a bunch of Ultra Instinct Gokus and just hope you get the dodges. Like, that's essentially what that's what that team would be, right? But yeah, I mean, but really the biggest issue, of course, is the fact that that team itself is just not strong enough right away. It's just not. So it definitely needs some more work, you know, in order for him to be usable. And again, 50% dodge is not high enough right away for him to be good. Now, if you bring someone like maybe Int Boo on your team just to get that quicker vibe and also have Usher up, maybe you can try to use Int Boo and cheese your way around it and then get Super Saiyan Blue Kaio-ken's revive abilities up right away, right? I mean, that's a possibility. I'm sorry, he has 70% right away with intro. I'm getting confused here, but still, I mean, this guy just needs more help. And his damage, you know, he's already losing HP for you, and his damage is not high enough to compensate for it. I mean, again, there's a lot of flaws with this guy that should not be there. This guy should be a lot more dominant than he was. I don't even care if he loses HP, but if he's going to lose HP, don't have him super 5 times, right? Like, have him super twice and have them both be like 70 mil supers and then losing 10% HP. Not a lot of people would be pissing and moaning about it, right? Like, it's just what it is. It's a poorly designed unit, and he just needed to have less supers, more damage, and honestly, 80% dodge, and we're cooking with this unit. Alright, the next unit we're going to talk about is AGL First Form Frieza, or just, I guess, First Form Frieza in general. But, I mean, well, I guess we're talking about the unit. So, yeah, AGL First Form Frieza. And it's crazy to say because I'm sitting here having to say, like, yeah, First Form Frieza not being good is detrimental because we do not have many Frieza representation in this game. So, yeah, it's crazy to say because Frieza is one of the main villains in the series, right? So, you're thinking, oh, yeah, this guy should have so much representation, but he doesn't. So, the AGL First Form Frieza being straight up garbage, he has good damage, but defensively no, it's just sad, right? I mean, he doesn't have many cards at all. That was the first representation of the pod Frieza in this game that's not free to play, and so I mean, it just sucks. I mean, it's crazy to say that we're talking about a pretty iconic villain not having enough representation in this game, and with that being the case, causes every release of this version of this, or any version of this card, to be, you know, prominent. Like, this guy's got to be good because we're not going to get another First Form Frieza for forever, or any Frieza in a long time, and we haven't. Since First Form Frieza, we have not had a single Namek Frieza release. I'm specifically talking about Namek Frieza, by the way, because yes, clearly we just got a Frieza card right now, the Golden Frieza, part of the DBS Gogeta card as well. So, but it's just not like, it's just not common to see Frieza get many cards. Mecha Frieza doesn't have a Dokkan Fest yet. You know, second form, third form, final don't have Dokkan Fest yet, unless you're talking about the TEQ transforming Frieza. But I'm talking about like actual Namek versions of these cards do not have Dokkan Fest yet. Why? I'm not really sure. I mean, Namek, this is the reason why Namek is so underrepresented, because Frieza has no cards. I mean, the Guinea Force does, and that's great for them. The Guinea Force has more representation than Frieza, and that's saying something for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's just my issue right now, is like, what are you going to do when these units keep failing and failing and failing? When you have no representation, you need to be a strong unit. Tao's a great example. His first card ever in Dokkan, and he's surviving power creep, right? Like, that's the level of dominance some of these guys need to have. Like, if we see Zarbon come out after this Tanabata quote-unquote replacement celebration, he needs to be very strong. He needs to last some crazy power creep, because we're not going to get another Zarbon soon. And characters like that need to be good every time they come out. Alright, the next unit we're going to talk about today is another unit that shockingly has very little representation in this game, and that is Fizz Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. What if I told you there's only 3 major Super Saiyan 2 Gohans in this entire game? The Int Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, the AGL Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and the Physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. That's our only 3 cards in 10 years. And it's not a terrible amount of representation, but you gotta remember that one of them came out during the first few years of Dokkan, so very quickly, and then not too much more after we got the AGL Gohan. It came out, I believe, in let's see here, is it 2019? That seems right. 2019, that seems about right. 2019 is when that Gohan came out, and then it took them 6 years to release another Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which was the 2025 10th anniversary Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Now, they did release the STR Gohan, who does go Super Saiyan 2 for about 5 seconds in that card, and then there's the Goku and Super Saiyan Gohan that goes Super Saiyan 2 for 2 seconds as well. So it's not like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is showing up a ton, but if you're talking about individual Super Saiyan 2 Gohans that are actually playable and usable, we have 3 of them, and the AGL one you could never see really often. The Int one was outdated, and the Fizz Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was a really modern standalone Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So he really needed a chance to shine, and he never really got it. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was pretty dominant in the history of this game. I mean, the AGL one was really good. The Int one was very good as well. The physical one did not meet that standard, which sucks because, again, this guy has not had a card in 6 years, so he really needed something good, and he did not get it. I mean, he was decent, right? Like, he wasn't the worst card in the world, but that's not what you want to hear for a guy who only has 3 major releases in the history of the game, and one of them is old school, so you really only have 2 major releases in the history of the game. And it's just like, I don't know, it just sucks when you're looking forward to a guy that hasn't had a card in forever just to be mediocre, right? Like, imagine waiting for a fusion for 7 years and it comes out and he's mid. Like, I would rather wait longer to get a good card than wait 6 to 7 years for a card and it suck, right? Like, that's kind of the worry we have I have for Namek Frieza and our new Namek Goku. We haven't had any of versions of those cards since 2021, so it's been 4 years since we've seen any major Namek cards, and they probably won't get anything until 2026. So we waited 5 years for a new Namek Frieza and a new Namek Goku, and those guys could end up sucking. I hope not. I hope they're anniversary units and they're dominant, but imagine they suck, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, well, now this sucks because we waited this long and they're not good. That's the worst thing, right? And that's why I'm talking about this Gohan, because he should have just been better. Like, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta sucking is a meme and it's funny, but it doesn't matter because that's Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta has so much representation in this game, right? You have the AGL one, you have the Int one, you have Evokin, you have the STR one we just have right now, right? So we have 4 versions of this card. And, so he has plenty of representation. And yes, that Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, I do know, that was, his first card in 4 years. So it's not like, oh, yeah, he definitely didn't deserve to be good. I'm just saying we know eventually within the next year or 2, we're probably going to see another Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta because it's a popular card and it's Vegeta's highest form in the current anime. Alright, the next unit is TEQ Buuhan, and he'll be our final unit we're going to talk about here today. And there's so many more units we could talk about in this video, like AGL Scatter Vegeta or something like that, but I really want to hone in on this TEQ Buuhan card because it's honestly crazy for me to even think for the fact that this Buuhan, there's been it was a 5-year gap since our last Buuhan card, which is pretty crazy to say. I didn't even realize the gap was that big between our last Buuhan card and this Buuhan, but this guy definitely should have been a lot stronger, or maybe saved him for a different release in the future, because TEQ Buuhan was very good on release, and he was decent during Anniversary, but once we got to the Global Dokkan campaign, I would not recommend running this guy at all. His domain transformation is very strong. He can tank fairly well if you get a ton of orbs, but I don't know. Like, he's just not strong enough to handle things right now, and when you go back to base, he definitely cannot handle things right now. Like, this unit needed a much more in order to handle just current content we're in, you know, things we're moving forward into. So I like this card. I like Buuhan, like, just as a character as a whole, but his design really was only for those memorial battles, the Gogeta and Janemba, which it worked fantastic on, by the way, and he was able to handle Go Frieza, you know, very well. His release, in terms of the meta he was released in, was a great release, but he didn't age well enough for him to hold traction, and I just wish he had a better aging kit, especially because, again, Majin Buu Saga was a dominant team, and heck, it still is pretty dominant right now. You could clear some content with the Majin Buu Saga team, but the extreme side of Majin Buu Saga is definitely way weaker than it once was. You know, you do have some other options, but the fact that the Int Buuhan came out and overshadowed the TEQ Buuhan is pretty crazy that it even, you know, occurred or happened. You know, it's funny, a lot of people are like, I didn't forget about TEQ Buuhan. I guarantee now everybody doesn't even remember TEQ Buuhan even as released at all, like, just ever. Like, Int Buuhan has already overshadowed him, and now both of them are unusable. Like, no one's even talking about TEQ Buuhan. They probably just gone, right? So, I don't know. But I will say this, is that TEQ Buuhan definitely could have been better, either his base form or his, you know, his domain form, because we're in short meta, so you don't really even need the base form to be stronger. You just need the domain form to be significantly stronger. And if he was just, like, invincible, kind of like what TEQ Corrupted Zamasu was for those turns, I feel like he would have aged extremely well. But, you know, that's just not what the case was going to be, and it's unfortunate, but, you know, there's always more Buuhans we could see down the road. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys agree or disagree with these units on this list, and what other units you wish you could have saw on this list? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed these videos, of course, click the first link in the description below. It's all my voiced content videos, and the second one's going to be all of my Dokkan Battle content videos in general, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.